What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr. So, I went pretty hard on this game yesterday, Brown Dust. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I actually ended up liking it more than I thought I would. So, I wanted to go over with you guys what I like, what I don't like. I just released a reroll video guide. The reroll process for this game is actually pretty good. Quick and dirty, 15 minutes if you don't like it. You could reroll pretty painlessly. You don't have to reinstall anything or wait a long period of time or anything, so that's pretty cool. I highly applaud that. I like games that make that process easier for its users. Now, as far as the mechanics of the game go, the mechanics of the game are very much like Ogre Tactics, Ogre Battle, for you guys who remember that back in the day. So I'll show you guys the combat. It's an acquired taste. Storyline's kind of meh, by the way, so far, but someone was telling me that once you get to World 3, it's actually pretty good. So, anyways, I'll show you how combat works real quick. Now, the really cool part about this game I like is that the Octo units, which are the really powerful units in this game, they're actually some really badass units, but I'll show you what I'm working with on this reroll. I'm actually going to stream this later on. So I got Zenith here. When you start this game, you get 2 free 5 stars. They're random, so it automatically rolls them for you. So this girl, essentially anytime she is attacked, she kind of reflectively does damage back. And it's just like this crazy thing, like kind of the tanking roll in this game, the night roll. Receives healing from enemy normal attack, so every time she gets hit, she gets a percentage base healing, which is going to be, it starts at 6%, it goes up from there. This girl right here, she's actually quite the terror on the battlefield, Alki. She removes barrier types, so enemies that have barrier skills, she just flat out removes them and ignores them. Deals 150% damage, and then, so every time she attacks, she deals damage, and then it kind of arcs, so that it'll hit people in like the top and bottom row if you put her in the middle. So she's pretty fun. Veroni is a support. So your supports, they have a certain skill set, like there's boost attack right there, boost crit damage. You can also mess with the attack order, which is actually something I need to do. I forgot to do that in the last video. But so your attack order should be your support, your debuffer, and then whatever your attacks are. Your main attackers, unless you really need something like taunt or something to go off early, which in these first couple stages doesn't matter. So, and then this is kind of how battle goes. Let's see. So yeah, that was Aoki's attack right there. Now, what's gonna happen is your team goes first, and then the enemy goes, etc., etc. It keeps going. If a support takes a turn, usually the support will get off their attack right away, unless, in my case, this girl was stunned, so she couldn't actually do her attack next. And that's kind of how combat works. Now, it's going to get a lot harder. There's a damage spike and tactical, and you're going to be able to basically fill out all this roster eventually. So, but that's kind of how the battle mechanics work. So like I said, that's not everyone's flavor. I personally think it's actually pretty cool, but it's just the way it goes. Like between this and like Langris or an Epic 7, it's all like scratching my itch for fighting, combat, etc. Now, as far as the mechanics go for some of the characters in this game, which I'll show you guys real quick here. So, I'm gonna go to the book. These are the legend characters, which they're the Octos, and there's also, I forget, I think it was called like the Devil 5 or something like that. These are the strongest characters in the game, and thus the rarest characters in the game. To pull them is about a 0.2% chance, and you can only do it with certain tickets, which you gotta farm up. There are selectors that you can do eventually to select some of them, so that's really nice, but you gotta farm all that up too. That's gonna take a while. But these are the Octos, these are the strongest units. You can re-roll for these guys in about 15 to 20 minutes, so pretty awesome. Now, actually, let me show you a couple. A lot of people really want Lucius, so Lucius is one that a lot of people want. He's really ridiculous tank, so he resurrects when he's death, and he resurrects with 20% healing. This is level 1. That's eventually going to get better. And he prohibits anyone else from receiving the resurrection skill on the enemy team after his resurrection, though. So, actually, it might be his team. Maybe that's... a mechanic that protects him, actually. That's probably what happens. I would know. I don't have him. I just hear people talk about him. Death Guard, this is basically an invulnerability for 4 turns. And then he gets... this is ridiculous. He hits the enemy's current HP times 15% additional damage every time he hits. So he's basically chunking enemies 15%, especially if they have a ton of life. And he's also basically vamping and healing himself for 15%. Which is dumb, of max HP. His max HP, as far as I can understand. And then eventually he's going to get masochism, so every time he gets hit, he's getting healed. And then, you know, 36% healing is just stupid. And all those percentages are going to go up, because if you look at the preview, you know, this is kind of showing on the left, this is showing like the attack radius of some of the skills. So you can kind of click on different ones and see if they have some type of different thing going on. But that's the general attack rating. And then, so remember, 100% healing when resurrected at max level. It's just like super dumb. 6 attacks versus 4 attacks on his invulnerability after resurrecting, so he can get some heals, hopefully, from your supports. So this is one of the guys people are really re-rolling for now. But literally all of these characters are super good. If you get even one of them, your game's made early on. Now, as far as some of the regular characters, Eleni's really good as a warrior. I'm not going to get too into everyone's skills because I don't want this video to go forever, although I might make a different video. Foxy's actually one of the top DPSs in non-Octos, which is pretty crazy. Reduces attack of people she's fighting by 65%. 100% additional damage, because why not? It's just silly. And then when you start upgrading her skills, 200% additional damage, because why not? And then, but she also receives... or excuse me, this is kind of like a reflexive counter, so basically it's like a damage shield kind of thing. So that gets pretty silly, and then etc. It just gets ridiculous, so let me cue up some more music. Alright, so but some other characters to be on the lookout for. I'll make a separate video probably tomorrow of really good characters, but we got... I'm trying to remember. Sigmund was actually pretty insane. Yurang for a 4-star is actually insane damage. She actually does some crazy amounts of damage. And then... Oops, that's the wrong thing. When you go to Defenders, I've seen a really good Defender. Seer is actually one character that a lot of people really like. Yeah, look at her skills real quick. Death Infliction to enemies who attack. So basically, it's going to deal enemies max HP 15% when they attack. And if Seer dies, it's 35 damage, 35% of their max life. And, you know, bonus 65% defense, because why not? That's all in one skill. Immune to debuffs. Receives healing from enemies' normal attack, etc. Her percentage is 12, so she's pretty freaking ridiculous for a tank. As far as tanks go as well, Cecilia's actually really good, too. Bane's super good. I had Bane in a couple of reels. Glacia is actually pretty insane. Every time you hit her, enemy's frozen. So they basically lose the turn. It's ridiculous. So, pretty awesome tanks in this game. Now, magicians. There are some badass magicians. Bathory is ridiculous. Lillian's ridiculous. This guy, Valtor, is ridiculous. Valtor is basically a tanking mage whose damage stacks on his HP, so it's like some League of Legends type stuff. Incoming damage minus 30, heals every turn, 4%, which is ridiculous. Max HP times 20% is his additional damage. Removes any type of buff skill, so he just insta-bypasses anything. Just silly stuff. So he's actually one of the characters I hope I get when I eventually settle on a role. And then supports in the game. So some of the supports, like I said, Veronia earlier, you know, they'll boost attack, boost crit damage, boost survivability. Agility in this game is dodge rate. So really good for all characters, honestly, but especially your tanks. A lot of people like Helena, a lot of people like Mary, etc. Supports are pretty good in this game. So, but one thing I really like about this game is the really good characters, like your 5-star units, are super badass in most cases, which I really like versus your 4-star units. Now, other mechanics in the game. When you get to your mercenaries, we'll go ahead and look at one here. So, let's say Zenith. It's going to show you all your skills. You can skill them up with dupes. And it's on a set pattern, so like this skill will get +1, then your next one, this skill will get +1, etc. until you get to +10 for all your skills. As far as farming goes in this game, there's runes, which I haven't messed with yet because I've been re-rolling. But I'm assuming it's like most rune systems in most games. Soul gear, which is going to be... People were telling me that once you upgrade the soul gear, people that have been playing this on the Asian servers, it literally makes a different character. There's lots of skins, etc. So... And then there was also your purple star, typical stuff. There's... Oh, she doesn't have one, that's funny. So set effects are, some of these characters have combos that they can do with certain units, so it's like a team attack. So here we go. So this girl, Aoki, if you have this guy Vermont, and then you also have this lady Daniel, and a 3-star, which is funny, they'll do a team attack. It's different for every character, and I have no idea. You know, I've only seen, like, you get a very basic one with the starter story units. But, let's see here, set effects, let's see if it says it. HP increases for mercenaries with set effect, increases by 30% with 3 mercenaries deployed, 10% with 2. So, I guess in this case it's more of a buff, but apparently people were telling me there's, like, team moves, so I guess some of them might have that, but... Pretty awesome stuff, and then when you get your character to a certain rank, their look changes, so it's like your typical, you know, like the girls lose more clothing the more powerful they get, etc. So those good old mechanics, the guys get more badass looking. So cool stuff with the characters, I like that a lot. Now guilds, there's co-op in this game. You can do like dungeon style stuff or loading things, so you can all put stuff on a certain battlefield and just hope everything goes at it. There's daily quests, friends, supports, etc. You can take support units out. Guilds, there's guilds. No idea what guilds do. Haven't been at that level. As far as the shop goes, the diamond shop is where you buy the scrolls for the legend characters. The legend characters, you get a chance to get the Octos or the devil characters, the best characters in the game. And overall, from what I was told, the Happy Global Launch package is currently the best thing to buy right now. So if you're a whale, you want to do that, more power to you. They got quests, beginner quests that help you out. They got some web page events. So let me see if I can find that. You come over here. Apparently it's just going to load forever. Well, anyway, so there's some web page events, so like this bingo thing. Come over here, you do your daily quests every day, and you do like all this stuff eventually. And you get some bonus rewards, which are right here. So horseshoes are the stamina in the game, diamonds the currency, premium scrolls where you draw, hopefully your 5-star units if you can get them. Some really good stuff there. So I don't know everything about the game, but that was just one day's experience. There's challenge mode, which is probably going to be your farming dungeons, like Rune Dungeon. I guess you can get crystals for class upgrades, XP, etc. There's PvP, you know, all your typical stuff. There's the co-op stuff I was talking about earlier, boss dungeons. So there's plenty to do in this game. It's just like, it's just a matter of are you up for it. So tutorial's actually pretty good. Give you a lot of gold to start off, so I'm enjoying it so far. Now I'm going to play it again tonight. I'm actually going to re-roll a little bit more, probably like 4 hours, but... Anyway, so I'm enjoying this. I'm also just trying to farm all my other gachas. It's a pain, but I'm still doing it. Etc. So, I wonder what match does. Oh, okay, this is Arena Guild War. Mystic Island, occupy and retain bases. Interesting. Make your own strategy with mercenaries, but not below original 4-star ranks. Underground Arena, real time apparently, so that's cool. Okay, yeah, pretty awesome, so... Anyways, guys, but... Yeah, let me know what you guys think if you're playing this, or if you're gonna give it a try. You know, mess around. I'm still doing Langrisser, I'm still doing Epic 7. I'm actually playing Knights Chronicle, which is funny, the Fairy Tale banner. And those are my gachas I'm doing right now. And yeah, I would love to make more videos, but I really gotta get rolling, so... I'll just have to make more tomorrow, guys, so have a good night. And, yo, Showtime Doctor, Showtime DR, you found my YouTube. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Also, check out the title info underneath the video. Click show more. There's a link to my Discord, link to my Twitch. We got a Brown Dust tab just created like 3 days ago. Pretty awesome community in there. We also got tabs for other games we play, all anime heads, etc. So And that's that, guys. So maybe I'll see you guys in the stream in a little bit, and I will catch you guys later on. Peace out.